Hey guys, Steven here, doing another Steven Universe review. This time, I forgot the episode name. God damn it. Uh, Letter to Lars, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it is. Letter from Steven or Letter to Lars. One of those two. Anyways, this episode is all about Steven sending a letter to Lars, even though it has a little bit of a funny ending. It's the most lackluster out of all the four new episodes. It starts off with something that we saw in the first episode that I forgot to mention, where Lars is doing a Star Trek thing where he's dating Captain's Log. He's like, Captain's Log. And he just says whatever. It's sort of a Star Trek thing, so it's pretty funny. It's a little funny homage to Star Trek. He also did that on the first episode that I forgot to mention, but he's doing a little Star Trek homage. That's pretty funny. And there's one part, I don't know if it was this episode or the last episode, or if I saw it somewhere else, but there's one part where I think the purple girl, I forgot her name, she's just like, are we supposed to be writing this down? He's like, yes. That's pretty funny. And my cat's meowing, like always. But anyways, it starts off like that. It moves on to Steven pooping a letter out of his head, even though that'd be kind of stupid, but that's what Steven did, I guess. I don't know why Steven just doesn't talk to him, but we get to learn a little bit later in the episode that you'll get to learn after we get to there. But he has a letter. He starts reading it. We get Ronaldo in this episode, and Ronaldo basically begs on Lars and says, like, I want to be in space. Why does he get to be in space? Ronaldo, I don't think you can be as cool as Lars, no matter how hard you tried. I don't think your character can ever be saved. Well, I don't know, maybe. So, Ronaldo. We get a depressed mayor doing this town because he's not mayor anymore. And at the end, like throughout this whole episode, you're going to be thinking, he should be working at the Big Donut, and by the end he is. But throughout this whole episode, you're thinking that, and you kind of know what's going to happen. But he's depressed throughout the majority of this episode. We get a Nanny Fafa. I'm just going to call her Nanny. Nanny here is actually being a good mayor and making arrangements with the gems, except for Amethyst and also Peridot. They're not there for some reason. Probably just frolicking around, I guess. But she's actually making an arrangement with the gems, and the gems are actually listening to her suggestions, and she's actually being a good mayor, unlike Mayor Dewey. So that's pretty interesting and pretty cool to see. They're going to make a shelter sort of thing, and I'm pretty sure that's going to come back in a later episode, so that's pretty interesting to see. And Pearl has a new cell phone. Just a little funny thing there. That probably is going to come back in a later episode too. And then we get this scene where they're all at the Sadie Killers thing, and Steven says that he hopes Lars can be there for the next performance. I don't know when the next performance is, but it's going to be around sometime, I guess. So Steven's just like, I hope you can be here. Is that foreshadowing, saying that Lars is going to get there before then? I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. Excuse me. Gesundheit. But anyways, we get this little scene here. It's pretty cool. It's all about saying her band, of course. And then we get this. This is probably the funniest part in this episode, where we get stand-up improv comedy or improv acting. And Pearl's just a straight-up savage in this. I don't usually call people savages, but Pearl in this, ooh man, that insult she said, you gotta watch it and hear that insult. It's hilarious. I gotta say, Pearl, I never knew you had it in you, but she did. But anyways, we have this little improv thing, and Pearl's just like, Steven, and supposedly they've been doing Steven every month or every day since they started for some reason, because Pearl just keeps on saying Steven. That's pretty funny. And we have all the improv team, except for Mayor Dewey. He's also there. But as we can see, we have Barb, Mr. Happy, I think his name is, Peridot and Amethyst, of course. I don't know why Amethyst and Peridot are there. I can see maybe Amethyst, but Peridot, I guess Peridot just wants to do something because she's probably still reeling back from Lapis. So that's pretty cool to see. And it's pretty funny scene here. Pretty funny scene. This is the whole part that makes it funny. and what Pearl says. That's probably the funniest part. But then we have this. Steven's dad, not Greg's dad. Steven's dad buys a new telescope or binoculars. Telescope. It's a telescope. He buys a new telescope, and he's still rich. But he buys a high, powerful telescope to see if any invasions are coming, which is cool. And Ronaldo, of course, takes the job because he wants to look in space. And this is going to lead into something pretty cool that we saw in a trailer, or at least I saw in a trailer, where Steven sees Lapis, but whatever, that's coming up in the future. So that's pretty cool. And Steven's like, my dad's still rich, so he's trying rich people games with Garnet. Bad idea. Garnet has a pretty funny line here saying that being rich has made you weak. I don't remember Greg being much stronger than this, but okay. It's just funny. And of course, Mayor Dewey shows up. And then we have talking about wrestling. Nothing really interesting there. And then we're talking about, I think his name is Petey. Ronaldo's brother has a new food truck that used to be the Mayor Dewey truck. And he turned Mayor Dewey's head into a potato. That's pretty funny. He can't drive it, but, he has it, so it's just another booth, I guess. And then we have Mayor Dewey working at the Big Donut because finally he gets to do something and not be depressed. And there's a sweet part here where he actually names one of the donuts after Lars to apologize to his parents for when he was a mayor, I assume. At least Steven tries to help him do that. So that's pretty nice. Steven tries to help him apologize to Lars' parents, and they seem to accept his apology. Probably because they know their son's still fine. But that's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet. And then we get the realization that Steven this whole time has been reading this to Lars. And Lars is like, why'd you write this to me? But you could have just told me this in person. And Steven's just like, because people like being written to. So that's pretty funny. And Lars says some pretty funny stuff here. He's just like, he says, I don't know half these people. Like, who the heck is Peridot? And Steven's like, someone that misses you very much, a lot, I think. She probably does it because she doesn't know, but it's freaking hilarious. This whole little part here is freaking hilarious. Not as hilarious as the Pearl part, but this part, hilarious in general. This whole episode, it's okay. It's not the best. It's just okay. The worst out of the four, I would say, but it has the most hilarious joke out of the four. Man, all I gotta say, Pearl, you savage. You savage. That's my review. Hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. As always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.